3, 2, 1. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Okay, let's do the intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Pale, the most normal podcast on the internet, hosted by two very well-adjusted individuals who will for sure not reveal themselves to be mentally deficient in this episode. I'm Normal Man Curious, and I'm here with my fellow normal man.
I'm Gray. I'm normal.
Yes.
I'm man.
Very normal.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
so normal. We're not
Exactly.
neurotic. Everything's fine. We're regular Joe Schmo you can find on the street. You know.
Yep.
I'm just like everybody else. How's it been, man? It's been a while.
It has. So like 15 minutes before getting into this call, I was in the shower.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
the shower, like halfway through the shower, the water stopped coming. And so I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I punched the shower head? And so I did it, and then the water started coming again, and then
What? Stop saying coming. Stop.
Sorry. And then the water returned. It started pouring again, and I was able to, complete my shower. But now my knuckles are red, but at least I'm clean. So, yeah.
We're very normal. We promise. So it's been 2 weeks since we did another podcast because you've been busy with school and I've been busy surviving life. But I almost failed yesterday because
he almost missed a check.
I almost missed a check. Yes, I did not. I did not make it to the checkpoint. So it was Friday, right? So in our global politics class, we had a chance to visit the Latvian parliament, basically.
Okay.
It would have been cool, right? So, we're going there, and after that, we're going to the occupation museum, which I've been to because it's right next to the previous school. But yeah, it's cool. So I was like, I got a free day, and I got to visit some museums, and it sounds like a fun time. So I wake up. I wake up. Obviously, I wake up, and then I prepare myself, and I look outside. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a bit windy, but it shouldn't be that bad. So I wore like a black Uniqlo t-shirt. I'm repping for Uniqlo. I love Uniqlo. I don't know if you know about like Uniqlo, the brand.
I've heard of it, I think.
It's a clothes brand that's like the stereotypically Asian one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wore like some t-shirt, like a brown jacket thing that I really like. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look slightly with more drip than I have. So it's like -5 instead of -7. And then I'm like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go there. And then I get up, and then I wait for the bus, and it starts fucking raining like crazy. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be on a bus, right? It shouldn't be that bad, and I can just walk a bit faster to the parliament. I know it's in the center, so it shouldn't be that far. So I go up. I get in the bus. I go to the center. Everything's fine. It's raining even harder, but everything's gonna be fine. I go there. And I see people waving at me. Hey, curious? Come here. We're almost starting. Okay, I get into the line. Oh, I forgot that in order to get into the parliament, you need to bring your ID. I forgot my fucking ID. So everybody else got in but me. I got kicked out by 3 really intimidating looking Latvian men. And I was just like, oh, fuck. What do I do? And they're like, I don't know, go grab a coffee, I guess. I'm sorry. And I'm like, shit. So here are my two options.
Did you not have like teachers or like other like staff? Like,
well, yeah, but yes, they were there, but it's first of all, it's the government, and they told us the day before that we had to bring the ID, and I just forgot because I'm a very normal person with very functioning existence. So I was like, God, okay, I have 2 options. I can either wait like 1 or 2 hours to maybe go to the occupation museum after, or I can go home and say fuck this. And I didn't want to go home because I'm like, okay, you know what, we decided on this, right? I don't want to skip out on this. I really want to go, and it would be fun with the friends because it wasn't just the global politics class. It's also the student council was there, and I have a lot of friends over. Well, not a lot of friends. I have a few friends over there. So I was like excited. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to find a place to wait out the rain, and then I'm gonna wait. And I forgot, this is the old town. Now, if you don't know how European old towns are built, not a lot of like places to hide, to like hide from the rain.
Okay.
So I was running around, I was like, where can I find a roof? There's no roof because it's all like brick houses. Where's the roof? And I wanted to get into some of the like restaurants there, but then I wasn't paying for anything. They were like, get the fuck out. So I'm like, oh fuck. eventually I found a little place to sit out the rain, and then I sat there for 30 minutes contemplating my life, and I wanted to, and I was like,
Damn.
God damn it. Oh, I also realized
man.
that. Oh, right. So the thing is, I don't know if the Occupation Museum will need the ID as well. So I should probably
okay.
go home to get it, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's rush through the fucking rain because it was still raining, and let's go home and grab the ID. I got home, and I did not want to step outside anymore.
Yep. Very, very normal.
I also, I'm very normal. This is all very normal human things. You know, I was thinking about this. We talk about sometimes about like Versus Wolves, one of my favorite podcasts, and you're like, I'm John and you're Wooly because you know, I'm you know, I want to be Super Eye Patch Wolf. I'm literally Super Eye Patch Wolf. And I feel like we're
I've
both
never
John.
said that for
but
the record.
Shut the fuck up.
He's lying.
Yeah.
This is defamation.
No, we can go back to records. I think we literally mentioned it in the first episode. I really believe that. I need to go back and check. But yeah, I think in this case,
This is called
we're both-
revisionism, by the way.
Yes, I am a historical revisionist. Anyways,
Oh man.
what I want to say. Yeah,
I mean, if it were
I think
me,
in this
I
case,
would
we're-
probably like blow up the parliament, like Guy Fawkes, my idol.
yeah. I could not because the Latvian man looked pretty intimidating, and even though I showed my very excellent well, not excellent, but like I could speak fluently because I've lived here for 9 years, but I looked like I landed yesterday.
Yeah.
So people usually give me some like benefit of the doubt. They're like, oh, you are just like you know, Latvian, you nice. But you know, it didn't work this time because they worked for the goddamn government. God damn it. But what I wanted to say is that, and I think in Versus Wolves, the dynamic between Wooly and John, we're both John. You are John, as in you make good video essays. I am John, as in I mess up everything in my life.
Well,
Anyways, that's my life update for the week. How's your life been, outside of punching a shower head?
okay. Yeah. This past week has been very not good because it was exam week. It was midterms exam, and for whatever reason, they decided to have so we have 5 subjects, right? And then we have 1 exam per day because each exam is like 3 hours long. So you can't have more than one subject per day. So we had this past week we had an exam every day. And so after the exam, which would end like at 12 o'clock, I'd get back home at around like 1 and then eat. And then I just, you know, because like my school is quite far away as compared to my previous school. So I'd get tired because, you know, the commute is tiring for someone who spends most of his time in front of a screen, right? So it makes me tired. So I usually just have to nap. Otherwise, I cannot function. And so after the nap, I have like 4 or 5 hours left in the day to study. And so I've been. It's not been good. And apparently, it's not just me. Actually, a lot of people. The principal after the last exam announced that a lot of parents were calling the principal to complain that their children were having like nervous attacks and like stress anxiety or slash anxiety for exams because of how little time they've given us. It's not fun, and like what really enraged me was that he said this after arranging like a class, like a design thinking, some kind of bullshit, like, you know, a middle class positive thinking class for, the 12th and 11th grade children after the last exam. So we were forced to stay back at school after the last exam. We weren't even able to go back home to relax. And then he said this, and then he said, we actually did this on purpose in order to teach you children that life is hard. I've never wanted to punch someone so bad in my life.
Really?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit, that's
That's
not even like mask off. That's like you're peeling your face off at that point. To reveal the ghoul inside. What the fuck? That's crazy.
But I did leave because it
Yeah.
was not only was it like just incredibly enraging. It was also I had no interest in like design thinking, and I also had a headache, so I left. I said I have a headache, and I went to the
Yeah.
infirmary and I just slept for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you punch your head and be like, it was like, oh, I have a headache now. So
Yeah.
okay, this sounds like a rough week. But
yeah,
we're here and we're talking about media and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah,
turn to the world of
this
fiction.
week though, because we didn't do like an episode last week, right? I had a whole week off for autumn vacations. I've told you about autumn like last year this time. Around this time we did an episode. I told you about autumn, so I won't repeat it. But yeah, we had a whole week off, and I watched a lot of movies. I watched a lot of good stuff, good media.
Can't be me. Can't relate.
One of them, which I think you know, is Malcom X by Spike Lee.
Yes. Yeah. I really, I think we both got really interested in Spike Lee after seeing Do the Right Thing, but I've not gone further into anything he's done.
I've seen Black KKK Klansman before Do the Right Thing, but I didn't exactly know it was Spike Lee. I've seen Spike Lee around. Like I think he was
in the neighborhood.
Like my with my rich friends from Hollywood.
Yes.
Like Leo and Tom.
Okay, yeah. Actually, wait. Let me just like break off your story for a bit. I recently found out that there's this pop star that's really famous in Russia right now, called Monetishka, and she has a song called like Self Harm that's like super popular, #1 in the country. And then I found out that my yes, I don't know, it's something. And then she recently played in Riga and stuff. But then I found out that a girl I knew in school is like family friends with the pop star, to the point that they were doing the backstage makeup for her when she was performing in Riga. And I was like, God damn. Okay, I'm going to school with a bunch of rich people, literally. So yeah, go on.
So Spike Lee, he's great. So I watched Malcolm X, and it's it's like I'm like born to like it. It's great. It's a really like a sprawling autobiography movie. It's based on his autobiography, right? The movie itself is incredible. I think Spike Lee is a great director. He knows how to angle his shots. He knows how to make a film. Basically, he knows how to make it really good. Malcolm X is great, and I've also I think Malcolm X is one figure, like historical figure, that I've always heard the name of, but never really known other than his name and his vague positions, that is anti-racism and stuff, and black empowerment. I've come to know a lot more about Malcolm X this past week, and I'm very grateful for that, because Malcolm X is great. I read a bit of his other stuff. I watched a lot of his speeches. Again, he's a great speech giver. What do you call them? Public speech.
Public speaker.
He's great. And also he's watching that film is also given me motivation to read Frantz Fanon.
Who's that?
Do you not know Frantz Fanon? He's
no.
I think he's probably the only black philosopher that BreadTube likes or brings up, unfortunately, other than maybe Angela Davis. Yeah.
I'm gonna look up Frantz Fanon.
Fanon, Fanon, or Fanon. It's Fanon. I think that's how FD Signifier pronounces it.
Oh,
and
French
most
psychiatrist.
People.
Okay.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, French Afro-Caribbean psychiatrist. Okay.
Yeah, I think my father recommended I read The Wretched of the Earth by Fanon. And I'm probably gonna read it.
Okay.
I really want to know more about black philosophy and black liberation. They're great.
Yeah. I've only also heard only FD Signifier mention some Malcolm X in his videos, and yeah, I mean it just sounds like a whole different world out there of like philosophy that I'm really
Indeed,
interested in getting into as well. But speaking of a little bit of philosophy, I think this might be a good jumping off point because I found out that okay, Frantz Fanon is French. There were a lot of French people who were philosophers. A lot of French
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
It's
like it was.
it's like philosophy was invented by France. Do you not know
Oh,
that?
really?
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't it invented by like Aristotle back then and stuff?
No, it was Socrates. Socrates was actually
yeah.
French. That's my conspiracy
Whoa.
theory.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually real. I am very gullible and stupid. Don't gaslight me. Okay. Wow. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So I've been
Yeah.
getting into the philosophy. At least I haven't read any foundational texts, but I've read some introduction stuff about Lyotard and Derrida and people like them in the postmodernism, post-structuralist kind of camp. Because I've been working on an essay for school about the novel Neuromancer, and specifically how neuromancers, while we say authorial choices, which are basically like word choices, how the guy writes something, how it conveys postmodern themes. Basically. Yeah, first I had to know what postmodernism is, and even though I think right now, I saw on Reddit, which is obviously where you should look for information, that right now when people refer to postmodernism, they just really mean like a period of philosophers around that time, so including like Derrida and stuff. But when it comes to Lyotard, who is the person who popularized this term in his I forgot the book's name, but like this is like the first book where he mentions how postmodernism is basically the suspicion towards meta-narratives.
Incredulity towards.
Incredulity towards meta-narratives and stuff like that. And it's definitely an interesting way of thinking about things. But I want to ask you, as a philosopher boy, do you think that postmodernism? Right? Yes. Do you think postmodernism has negative cancel tilt? Do you think it's over for postmodernism? Do you think postmodernism is a soy cuck, soy boy philosophy?
That's I mean, like postmodern. That's a really there's a lot of ways to answer that question, because like I could say it is, but like okay, so what do you exactly mean by postmodernism here?
Well, I just meant by postmodernism I just mean like what Lyotard says was like the
incredulity. Okay, that
towards
thing.
meta narratives. Yeah, and
and
also the generally thing about like questioning objectivity and stuff like that. But
in that sense, I think the West, in the West, it's not really like over, because I think so a while back I think I had a conversation with my father who said like I think
Father, do you
so
love
he.
me? I'm kidding.
So my father views postmodernism as like another phase in the historical development of philosophy. So for example, we had a dialectical phase with the ancient Greeks. We had Plato and like Aristotle and like all those people who were really focused on the dialectic. That is, two people arguing their own points of view or their own philosophies and like coming to a greater conclusion that's beyond both of them, right? And wait, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
listening.
And then we had a phase of like Christian / metaphysical thinkers with I mean, this is quite a big jump and quite a big generalization, but still we had a general phase of Christian metaphysical philosophers, the likes of I don't know, maybe like the father of modern philosophy, as they say, with Descartes and like Thomas Aquinas and like the rationalists and the empiricists, and then Kant, obviously. But then we had a reversal back to dialectical thinking with Hegel, and Hegel brought with him Feuerbach, with like Nietzsche, Marx, and so on, until we hit a point where we had to go back to the individual, because the dialectic is not focused on the individual. It's not focused on the details. More it's a more wide spanning view of the world.
Okay.
But with here in postmodernism is a phase where we need to go back to the individual in order to learn more, or like to develop develop our knowledge of the world more. That's how my father views it. Of course, I don't think any postmodernists would agree with him, because again, this is narrativizing.
This
right?
is the narrative.
But yeah, I think I agree with him in the sense that I do think this is a phase or like a stage in like.
It's not a phase, Mom. I'm a real postmodernist. It's not
it is a stage in the development of how humans understand the world. I won't make any claims as to where I think this trend is heading to, because I don't know. But I mean, as a Marxist, I have a few suggestions, but we'll not get into it here. I do think I do think it's a necessary thing. That happened and is still happening indeed, especially in the West, because as I said in my video, as you know, I made a very intellectually charged lecture video about postmodernism.
Yes. Okay.
Where I looked at cartoons and video games. Anyways, in the video, as I said, it's there's a big chunk of postmodernism is an incredulity specifically to science and scientific thinking. I think even today, a lot of people hold science as some kind of it's like a full stop in every argument ever. Science says X, so that's all. We can no longer talk about it because science has agreed that X is truth. But I think actual real scientists would agree that's not how science works. Science is not at all the objective beacon of truth that a lot of that like popular culture has portrayed it to be. Yeah. So that is sort of that's why I think this trend of postmodern skepticism has emerged, because we have gone back to we've gone back to the same God religious type, like faith-based thinking. But I do think again that faith-based thinking is a necessary part, because again I guess I'm a historical materialist in that sense. Anyways, so is it over?
I think it's very interesting.
I don't think so.
Is it over? No.
Is postmodernism hashtag postmodernism over party? No, says Graylink.
Yeah, I wondered that question. I framed it in a really like Gen Z, like it's over, like negative cancel tilt. It wasn't mewing enough. What I was trying to get at is basically that I was reading it and I was like, wow, this is really like, it feels like a useful framework, but it doesn't feel like. Well, the whole point is that there's nothing to grab onto anymore. So what do we do, right? Like, I hate to be pragmatic about this, but it kind of, it was what I was thinking about while I was researching about postmodernism. So I was wondering, as a filthy Marxist yourself, what you thought about this?
Yeah, but like the thing is, okay, so we're talking about postmodernism. We have to mention this because this happened only like a few days ago. Frederick Jameson died. Rest in power.
Rest in power.
So I also read Mark Fisher for a video that I'm working on, which we'll talk about it.
Awesome.
It has to do with cherry pies and black coffees and men in suits. So it's great.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Mark
Fisher. Oh,
Fisher.
it's my favorite TV show, Twinks.
Yep, it's Twinks.
Yes.
So Mark Fisher he basically agrees with Jameson, where he says that postmodernism is the cultural logic of capitalism or late stage capitalism. It's how we.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just thinking in my head. You could go on.
Mark Fisher basically uses the term capitalist realism instead of postmodernism, because he thinks capitalist realism is a more, I guess, a more helpful way to grasp the concept. But capitalist realism is basically like it's not exactly the same as postmodernism, because postmodernism really means nothing really at this point. But that's kind of what he suggests is at the core of the movement, if you want to make it a movement. And so like as Marxists, or like as people with like philosophers who have, or people who read philosophy with the motive of political change, or like change in general in the world, right? I think it's helpful to view postmodernism as what Fisher says, like, or not Fisher, just Jameson says, as a cultural logic of the way things are. And not exactly as a way to think about things, but just as a way, or like something that exists out there, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of I mean, this is surprising because I don't know when capitalist realism, when did it come out? To tell me,
I think it was 2009. Yeah,
2009. Okay, well, yeah, because I was reading a lot of, for this essay, it wasn't just the Yap Fest. I also had to read a lot of scientific articles.
Nice.
Well, scientific, as in like just essays written by other people, and they talked about how
scientific realists.
Yeah, and I was reading about like these people in like the 90s, 92, talking about how postmodernism is the language of the capitalists. It's like how it's the logical conclusion to a world that's so commodified that. Especially in something like a cyberpunk story, where also the boundaries of the body is also being commodified and blurred. It's like it perfectly represents like what capitalism is doing to our consciousness, I guess. So I definitely agree with that. I should read Mark Fisher as well.
Yeah, Mark Fisher's great. Also, he's also very not very hard to get into, unlike a lot of other philosophers who fall into this group of people. So
yeah, bro. Like, did you sent me something?
Yeah.
Remember the thing you sent me? Can I? Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. So, simple words. For instance, let's suppose you live in the 1970s and you want to say the way white guys treat third world women as sex objects is shallow and disgusting. To be perfectly correct, your final translation should sound something like this: the hegemonic misrepresentation and devalorization of the always already multi-degendered plural, decentered, deconstructed, and dialogic. I'm gonna kill myself. But yeah.
I mean, I think so. Fuck. I'm repeating myself. So, there's this channel, Then and Now, or Now and Then. It's Then and Now, I think, right?
That's an anime. What the fuck are you talking about?
No. Then and Now. I think
now
they
then,
did.
Here and there.
No. Or here is it Here and Then? Fuck.
No, it looks like it's Then and Now, and it's about videos. It's about history, politics, philosophy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. They did a big 3-hour-long Hegel introduction to Hegel thing. It was great. Yeah, it's great. You should watch it. It's
I should for sure.
Yeah. So his thing, I think he has a video on the language of change or something, or how to change by thinking, or something like that. So he So even the philosophers who we generally agree with, say like Judith Butler, right? So he, in one of his videos, he quotes one of Judith Butler's works, and holy fucking shit, it's like a 1 minute or like 2 minute quote with no full stops or commas or anything, or a lot of slashes and a lot of words that make no sense for probably most 40-year-old people. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I didn't know about this channel. I'll definitely watch it. Some of the videos look really interesting. Touch Grass, a philosophy. Interesting.
I mean, some of them, I guess, they're more educational than like, trying to, they're trying to take a more neutral, I guess, stance on things. Which, I mean, I don't think like they're bad, like centrist or like something like that. But it is an approach, and some of their videos I wouldn't say I like, because I'm not really interested in like, I don't know, stoicism, for example.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, they have done a video on how Stoicism has been like, reified basically in a modern day culture. Anyways, I just realized we normal people are talking about postmodernism.
We're so normal, guys. We're so normal. We're very normal. You can come up to us and we can talk about things like the next football season or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Man.
When you kept calling capitalist realism cultural realism, I got reminded of this brilliant video I watched in class. So in class, in our global politics class, because obviously, we have a presentation we have to do that's recorded, and it's about a case study in global politics, and you have to link it to one of the core themes in the in the curriculum, which makes sense. And then the teacher was like, okay, I'm going to show you a few videos of people doing that. And the first one was actually really good. It was about like how soft power is used to advance ISIS propaganda, and how like alienation is a big reason why people get into this kind of thinking in the first place. And that's good. That's good. Capitalism. Yay. Well, not yay, nay. But the other one, it was just like, so he's just British as fuck, so already disrespect. But also, also he was like, today I'm going to talk about how cultural Marxism is affecting, incarceration. And I was like, what? And I was like, I heard cultural Marxism. And I'm like, wait, am I thought this was like a Nazi dog whistle.
Fucking H. Bomber guy made like a 20-minute video making fun of people who use the word, who use the term cultural Marxism.
Really? I should watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just watching this video, and he went on by saying, guys, so cultural Marxism is Marxism expanded to culture. What does that mean? It means that we should think everybody is equal. I'm gonna kill myself. And I was like, okay. So after the video, I showed to the class everybody. Okay, so the first thing I look up in cultural Marxism is cultural Marxism, Wikipedia, in brackets, Nazi conspiracy theory. And I'm like, what? Come on. And then one of the finance bros in the class was like, well, Wikipedia is actually really biased with these kind of things.
Oh my god.
So he's good. He might watch it, so I'm not gonna say his name or something. But goddamn,
okay.
That's wild. Okay.
Oh man. You did. Okay, just as an aside, I guess. You said how people. This is like genuinely a thing that I've also experienced with. I talk about this stuff sometimes with my classmates because I can't help not do that because again, unfortunately, I am a yapper. So. Whenever I bring up Marx or like even my politics basically. I think everyone has a notion, like a preconceived notion that I'm talking about equality and egalitarianism. I'm not. Marxism was never about equality or something like that. And in fact, I read Marx's critique of the Gotha program this vacation period. And in it, he says why equal rights is not a good, it's not a practical thing to politically root for. It's a really great passage. Don't put me on the spot here, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I also
so
relate to that.
Yeah, it's because obviously we obviously know egalitarianism won't exactly work because people aren't exactly equal in the sense that obviously we're all people, we're all human, we're all the same species. We all have blood and skeletons and bones and shit, and we all eat and shit and stuff. But equality here.
You're saying girls shit? No.
Oh yeah, girls. I'm not talking about girls.
I'm talking about men.
I'm talking about man here.
Yes. Every man equal. Women get no rights.
Woman. The man of the womb. Okay. So equality that won't work because people aren't equal in the sense that a person in the mountains and a person in the plains, they obviously have different abilities and they have different ways of they're socialized differently and they have different needs, and so equal opportunity there does not make sense. What they need is like equal I mean, obviously, communism isn't equal opportunity. Communism is, free resources, so everyone can do everything whenever they want. So and so that you wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be an artist, or you wouldn't be a mechanic. You would be a person, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's a kind of thing we go for, not equal rights. I think this really like struck me, I guess, when I saw a post on Reddit where it was
awesome.
it was Reddit. It was some parent praising a teacher, like the principal, for writing a letter to the parents about how don't pressure your children into studying for an exam, because every child may not be your child may not be your child may be an artist and may not need to know anything about math. Your child may be a mechanic and may not need to know about history and culture, etc., etc.
Yeah.
That's that's fine in a very limited, narrow, shallow way. But the thing is, we're all not just artists, mechanics, mathematicians, etc. We're just human first, and like we all have the ability to do that, and that's the problem with how things are nowadays. We're all like forced to find our passions and like do one thing, but that's what we fight against. Anyways, why did where did I start?
You were talking about like how people in your class think you're champion for egalitarianism.
Yeah. So
but
basically,
you actually hate egalitarianism and you want
higher
hierarchy. Yes.
Yep. Not equality. That's not the goal of Marxism. Not just Marxism, but like most leftist politics. Not liberalism. Liberalism probably, yeah. Not most leftist politics. It's not equality. Anyways,
this has made me reflect on like how much because I mean for people living in post-Soviet countries, their conception of communism is everybody gets the same wage. So I usually go to the next step. Well, that the whole framing you said is problematic before, but basically I was like, okay, it's not equality of outcome, it's equality of opportunity. But then I'm kind of realizing, okay, maybe that's also not the case after what you said. So
yeah, it's not
I need
exactly
to look into
that
it probably.
either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even I think I told you this before, like outside of recording, how the Soviet bloc wasn't socialist, and they knew that. Even Lenin himself, I think it's in Marxist.org. You can see, it's in all Russia Congress or like the third All Russia Congress of 19 something. So where he says socialism is when classes are abolished. We haven't abolished the classes, therefore we aren't socialists. I mean, he obviously doesn't say it like that, but that's basically what he says. They aren't socialists, and they knew that, but they call themselves socialists because that's where they want to head and that's where they want to go. But history turned out not so optimistic as Lenin thought it would turn out.
Okay, going back to Neuromancer, the book I was talking about. I mean, I read the book front to back like twice now, and man, it's probably one of the best books I've ever read. Really, really good. And it's funny because I saw an Instagram reel of like, oh, here are the sci-fi books you should never recommend to a beginner. Number 1, Neuromancer.
Yeah,
and it's the first sci-fi book I've read ever. And yeah, maybe I know that you've read a bit of it and you felt the prose like weighing down on you, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I read a couple of pages and I stopped, and then I think I lost a PDF somewhere.
Yeah. It's definitely like the techno jargon gets really heavy after a while, and it's no shame to look up like what the fuck he's talking about because but I really, when I got basically gave myself the patience to, okay, I'm gonna work through it because I am a stupid person who wants to really write about this book for some reason. I really, really fell in love with how drenched in like poetic aesthetic everything is in this book, and it's like the gold standard for writing that I hopefully one day can reach to with less techno jargon. But even that, like, I feel like this book really, I mean, I think I talked about this story before, but this book really opened me up to books where they just like throw all kinds of bullshit at you. Like I'm like I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I need to. I don't care. I want to be welcomed into a totally unfamiliar environment, and I feel like this book really opened my courage up for that. So yeah, it's a great book. I definitely recommend it. Speaking of not understanding what's going on, can we talk about a little bit about 1,000 Times Resist?
Okay, yeah, sure.
I mean, okay, I can't say a lot because I'm not that far.
How far are you into the game?
I'm at the game where you're traveling back and forth between time. You're trying to find Zhao.
Wait, who are you with? Who's with you?
Nobody. I'm just.
Who are you? You're commuting / You're in a communion with somebody, right? Are you with the orange girl?
No, I am the purple girl. What the fuck?
Wait, you're the purple girl, but are you not with someone else?
No, I'm not with somebody right now.
I mean, okay, no. Where are you at? Like, where?
I'm at the school, and I'm trying to find Zhao.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Okay, yeah. So far, it's been. I mean, I can see why you said this made for me. The main character, who's Iris. I don't know who she is, but like, she seems to be an overachiever and also Asian.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, yum for me. I can relate to that. So yeah, I really enjoy it so far. I think that's all we need for this game. Yum. Do you have anything else? Yum. I'm gonna keep eating.
I mean, yeah, just stick with it. I mean,
yeah, I'll stick with it.
You're really not far into the game. There's a lot more stuff, and I mean, it is confusing, but you do like start to pick up on stuff, and you do pick up enough to really care about what's going on. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I definitely felt that, and I actually really liked how much.
Did you finish the school part yet?
No, I've not finished. I have one last shout to find, but I'm like taking in the time to like drink in every single MC dialogue, and they're all so soulful. Like this is one guy who just starts rapping at me, and it's okay.
I remember, yeah.
It's so fun, and I really want to just have the best time I possibly can with this game.
Definitely, so yeah. Oh man,
I have other stuff, but what about you? What other stuff?
Recently, so how trans women.
Okay.
Okay. There's like this meme in Twitter, like in internet, internet in general. So where trans women have like really esoteric, weird, but really good taste in media.
Yeah.
And for some reason, all the trans women I follow on Letterboxd all love this French film called The Beast.
Oh.
And so I watched it. And indeed,
is it good?
Indeed, trans women, they're hiding something when it comes to media. That's all I'm gonna say, because that was genuinely one of the best movies I've seen. Genuinely.
Wow.
Okay. The Beast. Definitely.
What is it about? Is it a prequel to Mr. Beast?
Yep. It's where a YouTuber in the future kills people. Eats people.
Mr. B 6000. So what is it about?
It takes place in the 6040.
Oh my god.
No. So basically, it's like so it's a futuristic film, but like not exactly don't imagine Blade Runner, but imagine Her. Have you seen have you seen
the
film Her?
I know Her. I mean, I know what's that movie, so.
Yeah, it is sci-fi, but not in the sense that it's, like a huge CGI fest, but in the sense that it's a very interesting, idea or concept being explored with sci-fi, science fiction. So this film is about a girl in the future, in the 220 something, where AI has taken over.
Oh, wow.
And actually, this film came out 2023, I think. It did come out 2023. And so in the near future, where emotions have become a threat, Gabrielle finally decides to purify her DNA in a machine that will immerse her in her past lives and rid her of any strong feelings. She then meets Louis, and feels a powerful connection as if she had known him forever. That's the letterboxed synopsis for the film, and it's great. It's just fucking great. It's a very, very like heartfelt and like very, some of the scenes just like feel in your heart. I guess that's very corny, but yeah, it just feels. It's about loneliness. It's about love. It's about feelings and like all the beta cuck stuff, feelings and emotions.
Yeah,
And how that and the humans.
it's interesting how much this idea of like, I guess like technology ridding ourselves of our quote unquote flaws, our human qualities, have been popping up in the stuff I've noticed.
But like
even
also, you can go ahead. I'll continue.
Oh, okay.
Later.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that, like, for example, the book that we're reading for school right now, Oryx and Crake, is kind of about that. It's about like how this guy's has optimized the human race into some kind of weird hybrid of every single animal there is. So like, humans can now eat their shit, so they don't have to like hunt for food anymore. And also in their mating process, they have like, there's no like unrequited lover anymore. Like, basically trying to evolve humans into something that's not. And then the main character is kind of the only human left, and he's like kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And yeah, there's no like real answer to the question of like, I guess, we don't really need rape to happen. We don't really need like child slaves, right? Like maybe it's good that we don't have them if we could, right? But there's also like so much of it feels wrong to us intuitively because it's what makes us human, right? It's so corny, but that's true.
Yeah.
And yeah. There's this one guy who I talked to in school, and he talked to me about, you know what, dude? There's this technology that makes you relive another person's experience in a few seconds if you just insert this something, whatever they're developing. And I'm like, that sounds horrific. And then he's like, what do you mean? That sounds awesome. I don't have to understand people anymore. I think he's autistic. So,
I mean,
there's that.
okay. I mean, I do agree with that, but like at the same time, I do wonder how much of it is, that sort of, I guess, fear of. So, okay, here's the thing. I don't believe in like a, a unified human nature kind of thing. I think that if we were to go back in time, if we were somehow able to go back in time and meet people from, I guess, maybe, just like 50 years ago, say.
Yeah.
I think those people may appear more alien to us than, I guess, the aliens we see in pop culture today. I think. Because I think, as I said, what makes people are their, I guess if you wanted me to be pretentious, their house of Dasein.
Okay.
that is their sociocultural present. What makes us is our socialization, how the world is, and it is complex. It's not just that; it is also genetics and stuff. But I do think that what human nature is very, very fluid, and so I don't. So when you say, like, not just you, but like, the general idea that we are losing humanity, I think that is true, but we're only losing our humanity, or like this humanity, exactly. So I don't know how much of it is just old men trying to stay relevant type of thing, if that makes sense.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess, that is a way to think about it, right? Like, we're not losing some universal thing that's transcendent.
Yeah, there never was
time.
a universal thing.
Yeah,
basically.
it's just what we think of humanity now.
Yeah.
But
returning to the beast, that what I wanted to say.
Yes.
So one very interesting way to put it is that the main character, Gabrielle, she's French, so I don't know exactly, Gabrielle. I don't know.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, so she in the film we go to, she gets to live her past lives, or like certain parts of her past life, in order to purify her soul for in universe reasons. I won't get into any spoilers, but just this one fact is that in each version of her life, or in each of her past life that we see, her character, or like one of the characters we see in her past life, has this weird fear that something bad will happen in the future. something really
Okay.
bad, which
Huh.
they refer to as the Beast, which is very
Oh,
yeah,
that's
which
so
is
cool.
very very
That's cool.
yeah, it is, it really is. And then yeah, you definitely watch the film, and like especially the final portion of it. Holy fucking shit, it's
Wow.
fucking incredible. But yeah, the Beast, you know, the fear of what lies ahead, that fear is like this film. I guess this kind of ties back to, you know, this film shows it as universal, as like you know, transcending time and like as such, because even in the future, even she is still afraid that something bad will happen in the future, and the Beast will come.
Ah.
It's very
Okay.
interesting. Definitely
That
watch
sounds
the
very
Beast
exciting.
or
Yeah.
La Bête
But
or something.
speaking of you know, movie recommendations.
Mr. Beast, yeah.
No, not Mr. Beast, unfortunately. Actually, today, later, I'll be watching the famous Japanese movie Harakiri with a friend in theaters.
Holy shit, damn, I
Yeah.
like that movie a lot.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it besides the title and also the cool poster on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be surprised, and we'll talk about it later on the next
Definitely.
episode of The Pale for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, movies good actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
very good.
All right, I have something I want to talk about, and it's a
Yeah?
manga.
Ah,
It's a manga that I think you might have heard of. The name is The Climber.
yeah, I have. It's like, isn't that the one with the cover page of the blue guy, not blue
Yeah,
guy, but like
yes.
the person's
Yes.
wearing blue clothes.
Yeah, I'm blue, I'm a diva, do that. It's that one. The Climber is.
Yeah.
So I've not finished it, but I've read the first 40 chapters, and it's around 200 chapters, so around 20% in. And man, so I started reading it because of my music channel, Bliss.wav. It's still not a channel yet, but we're working on it.
Yep.
My co-host, Jenya, he liked it enough to, I mean, he calls it a masterpiece, one of his favorite stuff ever, and he basically got inspired to actually pick up climbing himself through this
damn.
manga. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Okay, is
But
it really
white
good?
people activity. Okay, we'll get into it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Because
obviously
okay,
it's one
here's
of
the
things.
thing. Here's
Yeah.
why I asked that, because like those kinds of manga where like, you know, stuff like Hajime no Ippo or like Holy Land,
Yeah.
which like motivate young men, young boys into doing something physical or like exercising. I'm very skeptical about those type of stuff.
We
Not because
know,
I
we-
mean I've watched Hajime no Ippo and I really like Hajime no Ippo. I think one of its fights, like it's one of the greatest moments of media ever for me.
Wow. Nice.
I think it's an OVA. I think it's like
Ah.
you know storytelling through shonen fights done almost perfectly. Anyways,
Wow.
but yeah, like yeah, the thing I'm still kind of skeptical because I think we know one person who like was very
I was
into
about to bring up.
Hajime no
Yeah.
Ippo, and,
One
like,
person was
also
really into
Holy
Ippo
Land,
and Holy Land.
and also
they made videos on it.
Andrew Tate and
Yes.
Crypto.
Yeah. They fell into that rabbit hole eventually.
Yeah.
But I definitely see that hesitation, and it's something I was also aware of going into it. And okay, so the thing is, what is the story about? I'm not gonna spoil it too much. It's basically a story about a high school loner who doesn't talk to anybody and doesn't like anybody, who discovers a passion in climbing, and then he, you know, just starts climbing, and then he finds out he's really good at it, and people are like, you're good at climbing, let's go climbing, and then he develops this like relationship with the mountains, and it's
relationship
You know,
with mountains.
yeah,
He
yeah. I
starts
mean, really,
fucking-
really. Okay, we'll get into it later because there's
a
actually
hole in
something
the-
to that.
There's a hole in the cliff.
There's actually something to that. Okay, I'm not kidding. So,
What?
but eventually, you know, it's kind of revealed that okay, why is this guy a loner? This guy's a loner because he, you know, he
He's
saw his
attracted
friend.
to the rocks.
Shut the fuck up. He basically, you know, saw some traumatic events in his past that has like made him really distance himself from others. You know, generic. You know, not.
Yeah, okay.
It's like solid stuff. And basically,
Yeah.
he, you know, climbing becomes this concept where he feels this desire to escape from society and like climbing up from there. And that's a way for him to like be free or whatever. And so far, it's like. I guess it's fine, right? And I do like a story
it's
about.
very kind of generic.
Yeah,
Have
but
you,
it's a,
have you
you know.
seen Run with the Wind?
Oh no, I have not.
Yeah, it's
Similar
sort
to
of
that?
kind of similar to that, but
Yeah.
I like Run with the Wind because
Yeah.
it's way more than like the individual like pursuit of one thing that makes them happy kind of thing. It's a very wholesome thing. Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna send a few screenshots. The art is really good, but yeah, it's basically a story about that. It's you know, there's a lot about the beauty of the mountains and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I do enjoy a good, well-written story about discovering your passions. You know, we just clown on the concept, but like I find it's nice, you know. And he's talking about how like he fell he fell in love with climbing so much that he needs to do it, even though he might like maybe sacrifice some of his other things in the future. And you know, that's the thing. I feel like I compared it a bit to Joe and the climber, because the climber, you know, it's a very like, you know, it's very much about, okay, I'm just gonna do this, I'm not gonna do anything else in my life. And Joe, he's sacrificing himself, he's sacrificing a lot of his relationships to reach this goal, to burn like white ash. But
isn't that like the quote that I really like? Find something in life that burns you and let it burn you whole.
Yeah, and you know
that's basically okay. Yeah, go ahead. I'll talk.
Yeah, I mean, I see a healthy space for a story like that. I mean, obviously we both love Joe, but the difference here is that Joe, you know, it's still, I feel like, a people-centered story. Like, it's about Rikishi, it's about Carlos, it's about their relationship with him, it's about Dampei so much as well. It's also Yoko, and these characters motivate and like change Joe in so many different ways, because Joe is just this kind of like stupid fucking kid at the start, and how he morphs into this person is so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, even like his passion for boxing isn't something that he found on his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah.
But this guy is just like, I mean, he has friends, but then he eventually departs from them to be a better climber, because climbing is a solitary activity. He just like keeps climbing and he keeps climbing, and I felt like the story was kind of validating his loneliness a bit. Like, it was kind of like idolizing this, oh, I just want to escape from society, I'm gonna be fucking the only loner out there, because everybody's like, dude, you are kind of risking your life by climbing, because climbing alone, I mean, because people go in teams, people have ropes and shit to like, you know, help you not die, because the mountain is cruel. But then he's like, no, I feel the mountain calling up to me. I'm gonna do this perfect. I'm climbing Jesus. I'm gonna climb up and I'm gonna be perfect. And he fails somewhat, but he's still like, the whole general thing is like, oh, climbing. I love climbing so much that I can fucking survive a blizzard. And I was like, okay. But what did you want to say? I want to hear what you want to say.
It all makes sense if he's sexually attracted to mountains. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I'm gonna get to it, right? The thing is,
okay, yeah.
I still have not got into it. So, there are the characters in the story, and I generally like them more than the main character, who's really just into climbing, and that's his whole personality. But I mean, people can relate to that. But yeah, there's this character who's like a rival, and he's kind of like, I wanna, you know, he has a goal. He, you know, fun guy to be around. And then he has a crush on this girl, but eventually they get into some accident, and the girl was almost like, they got into some media controversy around climbing or some shit, and then the girl loses her college applications, and you know, basically her reputation is kind of fucked. Eventually I think it gets saved, but like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't. And then this is such a, I don't know when this manga came out, but it's, oh god, it's so tasteless right now, because there's a time skip around 30 chapters in. And the girl reappears as this, like, because she's like this normal, you know, black-haired Japanese schoolgirl, and then she reappears as this like blonde-haired, basically slut, and it's just like, okay, I lost my college applications, so I am now a prostitute who's going to fuck you the first second I see you. And I was like, what?
Oh, man.
It was like, it's horrible, right? And then the main character is, I mean, he doesn't speak much. He's like that kind of person, and he kind of goes along with it. He's like, oh yes, I'm getting laid. Oh, and then he, please tell me. Wait, I need to show you. I need to send you this actually.
Okay.
The woman, the girl, is performing, let's say, oral sex to him, and this is what he visualizes.
Oh my god.
It's a mountain. It's a mountain. He thinks the mountain is fucking him. He keeps thinking about the mountain when the girl's trying to fuck him. I can't believe.
Okay, so I was right.
You are right.
Exactly,
you are literally right. And then later, I hate it because there's some semblance that like she's trying to be an actual character, but then the next chapter, the guy goes climbing again because that's all this manga is. And he's like, oh no, the temptations, the earthly temptations are ruining me from climbing. And I'm like, please, why? But so far I'm gonna continue it. I want to see where this Muscle Fest goes, but it's not the most it's not the best thing I've read. But I can see why my co-host would like it. Let's just put it there.
Okay.
No, shout out to Jenya. You know, he's a nice guy, and you know, he's really trying to be serious about the climbing stuff.
I mean, yeah, I think myself too. I think more than like gyms or like cycling, if I were to pick up like a physical sport or / fitness type of thing, it's probably rock climbing or something along those lines.
Yeah, and I
I've
can
been
see
like
the
thought about it. It's like when I'm in college or something, or like when I'm living by myself. That's
that could
probably
be
what
nice.
I'll try to seek out.
Yeah, and even from this perspective of like, I really appreciate how manga is this medium where like any story goes, like any kind of story about like any sport could get a massive audience like that. And this story is definitely so passionate about rock climbing, and I think there's a valuable place for this type
Yeah.
of story. So I'm not gonna bash it, but I don't think it's so far it's not for me. But I'm gonna continue and see where it goes.
I mean,
Yeah.
manga unfortunately is a medium that I've kind of basically gave up. I've basically given up on it because, like, I mean, a lot of good stuff. One of my favorites, the stuff of all time, Pun Pun is a manga,
Yeah.
right? And like the manga that I have read, a lot of them are incredible. Vagabond, Berserk.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. Adora Hedoro, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the name?
Yes.
Fuck.
That's what I
It's
thought of.
it's and then and also I've read Parasite. Parasite is also very good. And I've read a couple of other stuff as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. But the thing is, again, there's a lot of people who make manga are weird, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff like this that I don't really want to engage with much.
I can see why. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Obviously, you can see why that's how it is. That like the people who make manga are the type of people they are. The stories that get popular, the stories the stories that they are. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why a lot of. Then again, another thing is that manga being something how it is serialized, right?
Yeah.
How authors are kind of. They're incentivized to keep on dragging or like making longer stories and stuff like that. There's a lot of manga are like over 200 300 chapters. I don't have the time, and I don't really care if it's like that long unless it's really really good, something like JoJo's for say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's unfortunately it's something that I've basically given up on unless like there's some exception. There's definitely
I think-
exceptions, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of value out of manga. I actually wanted to talk about maybe two more if we get the time today. But the thing is that I do recognize that manga, even the ones I like, I hate using this word. A lot of them do feel a juvenile in a way that they tell stories. It's definitely not the most. I mean, there's definitely exceptions, of course, but it's not the most
yeah.
subtle way of writing something. But I still get a lot of value out of it. But the thing is that I am more into slice of life stuff than you. I think I'm more into just like characters hanging around, like doing life stuff. Where a lot, I feel like you are. I mean, I don't even know the last slice of life you watched besides like Bocchi. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Talking. Okay. My Twitter timeline is completely Bocchi and like Bocchi the Rock shit posts and shit, and I'm loving it honestly. I think
That's great.
I think due to like these like Bocchi the Rock Fumo accounts.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Bocchi the Rock is going from 8 or 7 to a straight up 9.5.
Awesome. Let's fucking go. No, I'm serious. Like every few months, it's surprising the longevity Bocchi has had, despite not having the episode. It's almost 2 years since the first season and the only season aired. But I'm still seeing videos by this guy, Professor Vero. I think you know him, right?
Yeah.
He made a really good video about like it's called like the Loner's Guide to Connection. I was really down bad, but I watched that video, and yeah, he was talking about it and he was analyzing the story in all these ways that like subtly but surely Bocchi achieves connection, and all these ways that he analyzes for 50 minutes. I'm like, God damn, Bocchi is really good. It's not just a fun show for funnies. It's really good. So
it is.
Man, yeah, for sure. I'm just saying like you're not as into like a slice of life as I am, which might defer you from some manga that I think I find really a lot of value in that you might not. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have other stuff. Oh. Okay, maybe I should let you talk about something because I feel like I've gone on a lot.
I mean, okay. So, I mean, I don't exactly have anything. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go on then.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go on. All right, because I got a whole list. So, a bit more about Bliss. So, Bliss.wav is the project I'm running with the co-host.
Oh, yeah. I have one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. And we've been working on a few projects. So, the first one is the week when Gray wasn't recording because I was studying for the week of hell in exams.
Yep.
And we did something. Well, so we're like, you know how Hivemind does brackets because he also watches Hivemind.
Yeah.
And then we started deciding, okay, what kind of bracket could we do? We could do song brackets. Which artist should we do? And it took 2 seconds to realize, okay, we're doing Blade. So we recorded a 2-hour Blade song bracket, randomized songs like from all across his catalog, and just doing this whole thing, and with his girlfriend and my friend Margot as the tiebreaker, who would chime in once in a while and stuff like that. Seeing the Fumo thing you sent me. Yeah. So here's just a few snippets. I have not sent you this until now, but I feel like it might be interesting to include.
Okay.
Be Nice to Me versus Love Note. Oh god. First round. 64 Blade songs. Only one can win. How do you feel about this? Have you gone over the matchups?
Oh yeah,
who
you're
you
good.
think is gonna win?
You're editing it, right?
Yeah, I'm editing it for sure. Yeah, I'm editing it
because I was
yeah,
doing them in a
and,
randomizer.
Yeah, it's weird putting my real name on there, but you know what? It's a different thing we're doing. Yeah, there's that, and also because this is not only a collab channel, we
fun.
also want to make our own content, stuff like that. So I've been doing stuff. I've been working on stuff outside of the novel and also curious stuff, and also the pale. But yeah,
Nice.
Just I've been doing stuff. You know, I'm not just lazing around while Gray makes fucking amazing videos all day. Okay, I'm still doing stuff. And one last thing I want to mention, just I don't want to always talk about things I'm working on instead of the things I've done, but this is just a little bit. So Fantano, the music reviewer that everybody knows, he has a segment every year called Classics Week.
Internet's most popular, busiest music nerd thing.
Music nerd. Yeah. And he has a series every year called Classics Week, where instead of reviewing recent albums, he reviews some classic albums. But then there's a few things that he just will never cover because he either doesn't like it that much or he doesn't know much about, like Asian music. So we've taken it upon ourselves to kind of make our own modern Classics Week that's gonna, maybe at the end of the year, and it's gonna be filmed on camera. So I'm gonna show my face. So that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, and we're gonna have basically just a Fantano format of like a green screen little album cover thing in the background, and hopefully I feel comfortable enough to show my face by then. But yeah, some of the stuff I want to cover is Nujabes. Well, it's only 6 videos. We're gonna do 3 each. Nujabes. I want to do J-Cho, which is like Chinese pop that I grew up on. And also Sweet Trips, Velocity, Design, Comfort, which is one of my favorite albums of all time that Fantano doesn't like because he's a stupid bald guy.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Yeah, there's that. All right.
That's character development right there.
That is character development. Let's see.
Oh, man.
Some other stuff.
Also, like the image I sent you, there's like a lore behind that.
What? What's the lore?
So basically, the Kesaku band killed somebody. To be more exact, I think Ryo killed somebody, and then it was all of them were together in it, and then they disposed of the body. But Bocchi, being the the shy, socially awkward person she is, she actually broke out with she confessed, and then they were in jail, and then they killed Bocchi, and now it's Greg who's replaced Bocchi. And so as you can see in the image behind Ryo, there's a dead Bocchi.
I love the contrast between fucking Hegel, and then we do this, and then we do this.
I am also writing now.
How did we not talk about it so far?
Yeah.
How did we not talk about your Yandere war story?
Shut up. Let me at least package it better.
Hey, you're gonna attract a very specific audience that could be really devoted to your work. Yeah. Post it on r/Yandere.
Okay. I'm almost done with
Oh
it.
shit. Oh wow.
I'm in the process of writing the final, I guess, stretch of it. It's not that long. It's around, I think the document is around like 12 pages from now. So I'm guessing it will be under like 15, 16 pages. I don't know. Or maybe like under 20 pages for sure. It's a short story.
So it's how many words? I can't really conceptualize pages.
I don't exactly know the word. I think it's over. I don't know. the last time I sent you wasn't over like 2,000 or something.
Yeah.
I don't exactly. Let me check real quick. It's all okay. Right now it's over 5,000 words.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I guess maybe like 1,000 more words or
Shit.
more. I don't know exactly because this is not. I don't have like an outline. I do have like a mental outline, but not. I haven't written down an outline for it. That's one of the things that I realized is that so I had a different story idea in mind and I wrote down an outline for it, but then I started writing it and I really hated where it was going, and so I abandoned it. That was a story about the eyeball thing, which people don't need to know about that. But now this idea came to me when I was walking almost like 3 kilometers to eat something that I really did not like. So I was thinking, what if I never ate again? So I conceptualized a character who did not, like to eat at all. But then, it would be funny. It would be kind of ironic if he ate, if his like final like climax act was eating. So I had an idea for a story about a love story about a cannibal who did not like eating, basically. So that's the story. I'm working on.
I'm really looking forward to it because you sent me a little bit and it was interesting. Like I could see a lot of you in it, which I think is just. You as a cannibal, but like I can see like your creative like spirit in it, like your type of writing and stuff, and that's more what I was referring to, and it's really nice. And also I'm very admirable that you're already done with a short story when I'm not done with any of mine, and I'm trying to publish one thing. So yeah, inspirational.
I mean, I just wanted to get it over with and move on. That's kind of like the attitude I take now to anything and everything that I do.
Wow.
I don't know if that's good or not, but yeah, I just want to move on.
That's one of the mentalities of all time for sure. But yeah, look forward to that. I think one of these days, if we have enough things, we could cobble together like a dual collection. Maybe that sounds really cool. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
But let's see. We need to get something out first, and then
the
let's
literature
talk about
collection from the people of the Pale.
Yeah, something like that maybe. One purpose of the Pale. That's gonna be called the collection, and then the second one's gonna be about the second purpose of the Pale. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
The literature of the Pale. That makes sense.
The literature of the Pale, for sure. And speaking of literature, I kind of want to talk about this one lesbian manga that I recommended to you a while ago. How Do We Relationship, right?
Yeah, I remember.
I'm not gonna go into the spoilers. I'm just gonna talk about God. I know you don't really read this kind of stuff, but I really recommend it because it's a story about relationships and like modern like college level like life when you're just entering into society, and it's just so fucking real the whole time. All the characters are relatable in their own ways, but what's really surprising me, because I usually don't reread anything, just the way I'm wired, but I decided to reread this because I was really loving it, and I wanted to just re-experience some parts, and the second experience was so different, as in like because, well, to spoil a little bit, this is about relationships that don't work out. This is about relationships that like start out really well and then eventually it ends for one reason or another, and it's heartbreaking to follow these characters we've followed for so long, like go through relationships and stuff like that, and questioning these really deep things, but then as we go back to how they get into this relationship and then like how this relationship progresses, you can see every single step how something has been wrong from the beginning, something has been incompatible with these people from the beginning, but because love, okay, we have not experienced like relationships, but we've experienced like romance or like crushes where it feels like you're kind of how do you say, it's like a trance that you are snapped into, and that you can't really see things really clearly, that you're so caught up into like, oh my god, I'm so happy with this person and I love this person and everything like that, and then eventually when something like breaks, you're like, what, why is it broken? Like you don't understand, but then you go back and you trace the signs, and it's all there. It's all there. It's all like hidden, and I've never seen something convey that feeling so well, and I'm just so impressed. And I absolutely love this for that. So if you're into lesbians kissing and fucking,
Okay.
and also also really compelling romance stories, I'm gonna make a video on this one day. I'm definitely going to. I just don't know how to call it. Like maybe something like the greatest
How to
romance
call
manga
it.
you've never heard of. No. Oh, speaking of calling stuff, I don't know. Okay, that was a stupid
Okay.
segue. How's your Greg Caulfield videos going? Because I don't know the update on those.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
I was like,
completely
wait,
forgot
weren't you
about
gonna upload one of them? You know?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Damn. Okay, holy
Okay.
shit. I'm having
That's a
whiplash.
live reaction. Live reaction. Live great
the
reaction. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
you know,
do
we're
need
very
to-
normal people who
yeah.
don't forget things. Very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
You're right.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I need to
Wow.
I need to
wow.
render it out. Holy shit.
Oh,
everything
you haven't
is
rendered
done.
it. I
Yeah,
see. I
everything
see.
is done.
Well, I'm gonna link it in the description. If it's out by then, please be out. Don't forget it
yeah,
again.
we'll see. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, okay, now that it's been like so long, maybe I won't feel it's good enough to.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Oh
Man.
man. Okay. Yeah. I'll see. We'll see.
Man. Fuck my stupid big chungus life. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
You got anything else?
Nope. Not really. No.
All right. I'm gonna recommend the audience to listen to Snow Strippers. Very good electro
What?
dance
Male
clash.
strippers?
Snow Strippers. Snow
Okay.
Strippers. Very
No
nice
what?
electro. Snow Strippers. Snow. As in
Snow.
cocaine, but boring.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Snow Strippers. Very good
Okay.
electronic dance music group, and I love their songs. Like every week I get obsessed with a new one. They're all so good. April Mixtape 2, amazing. April Mixtape 3, classic. April Mixtape 4, they've not made it yet. They're not very creative with the names, but goddamn, it's really good. Yeah, listen to Snow
Okay.
Strippers. And that's it. I think that's it for me.
Okay. I'll recommend that everyone drink their own pee because it'll
What?
get rid of the woke mind virus.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Purposes of the Pale. I've been very normal person curious, and
I've been very normal person. Gray Link. Normal.
yes. Great Link normal. And we'll have a very normal time next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Bye.